Oh, and I definitely wanted to create a mood. And what you were saying for Leo exactly is it precisely. Let me get exactly out of my vocabulary for a little bit, give it a rest. Yes, that's right. The female lion is called a lioness. I just made a rhyme, by the way. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Okay, so again, wonder what that is. Certainly unusual. Again, look at the beautiful watercolors. Lovely, exquisite, gorgeous. Okay. But Kidogo didn't want help. He didn't want to be the smallest, so he went off to find someone else in the world who was just as small as he. Let me read that one more time. But Kidogo didn't want help. He didn't want to be the smallest, so he went off to find someone in the world who was just as small as he. He looked in the woodlands. There's a giraffe right over there. Looks like maybe it's a toucan. Some sort of lovely bird. Toucan Sam, like in Fruit Loops. So again, he looked in the woodlands. Oh, the light was blocking. Yeah, look what happens when I go closer. Oh, look at that. Look at that expression. Pure curiosity. Wonder. Excitement. Look, he's making a friend. You think she's a female, Daisy? Why? The eyelashes? Fascinating, fascinating. And you know something about you're not going to make a joke about giraffes, are you? You're not going to stick your neck out and make a oh boy. Yes, a giraffe is part of the horse family. And again, I love this picture also here because you can see the contrast in size. Kidogo, yeah, he thinks he's the smallest animal in the world. And this is the tallest. There goes that bird following along. Lovely bird. Kidogo by the river. What do we see there? Yes, the hippo. And that would definitely pose a threat to Kidogo. And notice that Kidogo is not quite by the edge of the riverbank. No, a riverbank isn't where you can go and get water. Silly. But she does edge closer and closer. There you go. Look at those ears go up. Uh-oh, what's going to happen? Thankfully, he's okay. Oh, he doesn't look too happy, though. Look at that reflection, too. This artist is absolutely brilliant. Such expressive pictures. He looked on the plains. We do see the gazelle. There's Kidogo. What do you see there? Very good, little chick. Yes, we see the tail of a lion sticking out of the tall grass. But again, notice the gazelle. Why do you think the gazelle is back there? Right, exactly, hiding. This artist is very subtle. Doesn't give it all away, just little bit by bit. And take a look. Kidogo's doing something. I wonder what he's going to do. He makes the sound. He like a trumpet. Shocks the lion. That gives just enough time for that gazelle to escape from the clutches of the king of the jungle. But then again, so is Kidogo escaping. He looked until he knew it was true. What was true? We better think about what the problem in the story was. What was the problem in the story? Exactly. He thought he was the smallest animal in the world, the smallest thing in the world. And I love the contrast. Look at how bright and sunny. And then the dark clouds. That's definitely a symbol. Notice they are kind of blue. And yeah, He was the smallest animal in all the world. Yes, he does have the blues. He's down in the dumps. And I love the fact that the clouds are so massive. And look at the tiny figure. That tiny little figure of Kidogo. He stopped, lost and alone, with no place to look. Look at that face. Look at that face. He is down on himself because he doesn't like being the smallest. Oh, yes, I do. You remember that story when I was a little boy? Oh, sure. I told you what they used to call me because I was so short. Yeah, Small Paul. Small Paul. That's what they used to call me. But you can't keep someone who's excuse me, you can't keep someone who's confident down forever. So he sat and decided. This is a pivotal moment in Kidogo's life. He wouldn't need anyone else, big or small. See, head held high, just like Ruby Bridges, right? He would find his own acacia leaves. He would cross the river by himself. And how many of us have ever gone through things like that, those kinds of situations and experiences? No, you can't do it. You're too young. You're too young. When you're older, you'll be able to do it. And we want to grow up so fast so we could do those things. And right now, if you've ever heard the expression, he's going through some growing pains right now. He doesn't want to be the littlest thing because he thinks being little and being young, he wants to be grown up. But again, look at that expression, how it changes, how he's determined, how he starts to explore on his own to become independent. Wonderful. He would make his own dust bath, but as the dust fell around him, there was a tickling and itching on his ears and tail and legs and nose. You're wondering the same thing. What is causing that? Yeah, what is causing that itching and tickling on his ears, his tail, his leg, and his nose? Let's find out. He swiped and rolled and brushed and blew until finally the itching stopped. And there, as he looked down, was an animal smaller than he had ever imagined. Soon he was surrounded by tiny animals. Look at that expression too. Oh my God, how shocked he is and how surprised. All along he thought he was the smallest animal in the world and he was getting down on himself because of that. He thought it was a problem. There's something wrong with being small. And look at this. But you know what? Yeah, right on the tip of his nose. These ants don't seem very scared at all. He helped them reach tender acacia leaves. He helped them cross a flooding river. That is right. That's exactly what his family was doing for him. They were looking after him because he was so young. And now Kidogo is doing the same thing. My. Kidogo is such a caring and compassionate elephant. Special. Just like his family. He helped them with a dust bath, although they weren't sure they needed one. Exactly, just like Kidogo. Right? So we can all relate to these situations. It's universal. He followed the insects on a march down the riverbank, through the woodlands, across the plains, and back to his very own home. And if you notice, the riverbank, the woodlands, and the plains, those were all the places where he went out exploring. And now, look at his family. Oh, Kidogo realizes something I think that even the adults in his family don't realize. Right. That's the ants' home, the mound that they built. That's what they were searching for. They were searching for something and they found it. And you know what? I think that our friend Kidogo, I think he was searching for something and he found it. But what is it that he found? Super, super important. Again, these lovely paintings, these lovely illustrations, the canopy, some of the animals sort of in the shade but also seeking some shelter. All right. So, oh, there's that birdie again. All right. So, Kidogo saw the insects and the mountains, little and big. They were his cousins, his aunties, and his mama. Let's zoom in on that a little bit. I think that's Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa back in the background. And again, look at the layers of colors. And Kidogo knew he wasn't too small after all. And I think he found what he was looking for. But it's not something you can touch. It's not something you can see. Whoop. It's something that you have to know and feel. He was just right for a little, excuse me, I didn't read that right. He was just right for a little elephant. So what do you think it is that Kidogo discovered? That's what we need to discuss. And I want my students to do the same thing. The same thing. So again, what did Kidogo discover? I don't know. Well, we know what the problem in the story is, and there is a solution, and there's definitely characters' feelings, right? I mean, look, Kidogo at the beginning, he's so sure that he's the tiniest creature on Earth. All the other animals, oh my, yeah, they're so much larger than he is. And, I mean, look, for Kidogo, no matter where he looks, on the plains or through the woodlands, in the flooding river, he finds only bigger animals. And he doesn't want to be the littlest. He thinks there's something wrong with that. He thinks he's not quite right. So I wonder what it is that he discovers. But of course, Kidogo is he really as small as he believes? I mean, this is a really charming story. And he does discover something important. But I'm going to leave it alone because I want to get some responses from my students. And then you and I, all of our little group here, we are going to have our conversation as well. And I do hope that you enjoyed the story of Kidogo. And you know what? We are all Kidogo at some point in our lives.